Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Profit from Legal podcast. We're doing a video today, and so I hope you'll look at that on YouTube if we can get it uploaded to the appropriate playlist and everything. It's the first time we're doing it, so there may be technical difficulties to iron out, but I hope you have listened to the preceding episode of the Profit from Legal podcast, the special bulletin episode I did about how we've pivoted in the design of Profit from Legal as a service. If you haven't, press pause, go back, listen to that episode, and then come back to this one. Okay, either you've listened to it before and we're continuing on after you've gone back and listened to the special bulletin episode and rejoined us. If you're among that latter group, welcome back. Or you're just, sticking with us the whole time. So that's all good. The Profit from Legal podcast is all about legal operations, which is itself a set of business processes, activities, and professionals who enable legal departments to serve their clients more effectively by applying business and technical practices to the delivery of legal services. Legal operations, or legal ops, provides the strategic planning, financial management, project management, and technology expertise that enables legal professionals to focus on providing legal advice. That is the technical definition from the Corporate Legal Operations Consortium, the leading trade organization for legal ops professionals in the US. You can find their website at cloc.org. But as I was saying, the Profit from Legal podcast is all about legal operations. Specifically, when it comes to delivering Profit from Legal, my law firm's legal operations service, Executive LP's legal operations service, we want to take our business clients from 0 to 1 in terms of having a legal operations function. Typically, they come to us without one in place, and we create that for them. And we do that initially by providing 3 of the 12 CLOC Core 12 functional areas of a mature legal operations function. For all the reasons I described in the previous episode, we're not trying to set out to install a completely mature legal operations function at the outset. So when a client hires us to provide our Profit from Legal service, we're setting them up with the tools they need to make better decisions through data analytics, to maximize their resources, their use of resources through sound and financial management in the legal arena, and to help develop firm and vendor relationships that actually deliver more value for the client and are overall better for the client. In the beginning, we're not necessarily trying to do all the other Core 12 things, which include information governance, knowledge management, organization optimization and health, practice operations, project and program management, service delivery models, strategic planning, technology, and training and development. It's a lot. There's a lot to a mature legal operations function. And while all of those things are great and beneficial, they really ought to be added after the firm foundation, comprised of higher business intelligence, financial management, and firm and vendor management. So while there might be elements of those other things that necessarily relate to the work we do with Profit from Legal, our focus is firmly on business intelligence, financial management, and firm and vendor management. A legal operations function needs to be set up with the basics first, and then mature into a function that encompasses all 12 of the CLOC 12 functional areas. When going from 0 to 1, we found that it's most cost effective and least operationally challenging to focus the legal ops setup work on delivering those 3 things. And then later we add the other 9 functional areas to that foundation. This episode of the Profit from Legal podcast is all about business intelligence. So let's begin by answering a basic question. What does it mean to improve business intelligence? Well, if you've ever read Thinking, Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman, you may be familiar with what he calls System 1 and System 2 of the human mind. For those unfamiliar with these ideas, let me briefly introduce you to these systems. System 1 is the fast thinking system of our brain. It uses heuristics to quickly and efficiently answer questions. The speed and efficiency gains of System 1 come at the cost of accuracy. So System 1 is pretty easily fooled when it comes to complex reasoning tasks. System 2, on the other hand, sacrifices speed and efficiency to gain clarity, effectiveness, and accuracy in human thinking. Our brains prefer efficiency over effectiveness. In other words, it's difficult to engage system two and do deliberative, critical thinking work because our brains favor quick thinking over slow thinking. Whenever we're making strategic decisions, it's very important that we take an intentional, deliberative, thoughtful approach and engage system two in our brain in order to achieve a more effective, more accurate outcome. Unfortunately, in business, this happens less often than it should. Consequently, even smart, well educated people fall into the heuristic trap and use System 1 to make long term strategic decisions. Let's recall the question we're answering. What does it mean to improve business intelligence? Well, for me, a significant measure of improved business intelligence is achieving a state of business development in which decisions depend less on intuition and heuristic thinking and more on data, critical analysis, and algorithmic thinking. And so we apply this in a legal context to the way legal operations function plays out in your business, and using data and critical thinking tools rather than intuition to make decisions makes more effective important strategic work, such as spotting hidden trends, discovering new efficiencies, and orienting the legal team more closely and clearly towards the business goals that matter most. If you want to profit from having legal support, that is, if you want to have a profitable relationship with your lawyer, whether your in house legal department or your outside general counsel, you need to invest in the development of improved business intelligence. You need to be able to look at the data that relates to how you use legal services or how you should use legal services and critically analyze the data about trends over time, about efficiencies. To do that, you need specific performance metrics for legal support. We call these metrics legal key performance indicators. And the data that we get from selecting the right legal key performance indicators and then tracking them as we use legal support services assists decision makers in the legal department, your outside general counsel's firm, or your strategic leadership team in determining whether your legal support is efficiently deployed. When is your legal support actually focusing its energy on high complexity and high strategic impact work? When are they appropriately providing your resources to doing low complexity and high strategic impact work? When are they effectively managing external resources for high complexity, low strategic impact work? And when are they offloading low complexity, low strategic impact work? There's an excellent article by Thomson Reuters from the 18th of August, 2020, that talks about business intelligence. And I'll put a link to that in the show notes because that last little bit about the uses of data was directly inspired by that article. In fact, to go a little bit further and quote the article, measuring this data and reviewing it regularly will lead to continuous improvement in how the key people within the legal department solve the most important problems for the business, end quote. By the way, I think that's true even if your business doesn't have a legal department per se. Even if you're leaning entirely on outside general counsel for your legal support, provided they're using the right business model and legal ops methodology, they still have the ability to measure and review the data regularly to continuously improve how your business uses legal support, solve its problems, or prevent its risks from becoming problems in the first place. Even businesses that have a legal department don't often take full advantage of the data that they have. For example, they don't mine data from their e-billing or contract management systems to help them improve the legal department and better serve the business. They don't analyze that data through the lens of legal key performance indicators to improve the business. By adding data gathering and analysis to each of these systems, most departments would improve their business intelligence competency right away. The article I told you about earlier specifically says, with respect to e-billing, for example, run off-the-shelf reports and dashboards to see how the department's total spend and partner/associate ratios compared to industry averages for the work performed. Combining this with the data from that gathered from the department's enterprise legal management systems will provide actionable insights on how to best allocate resources. It will also allow department leaders to effectively engage with business leadership around the numbers. And they're specifically talking about the legal department leaders engaging with business leadership based on data. That's the end of that quote. These are the kinds of things that we help our clients do. When we deliver Profit from Legal, we set up systems and processes of reporting to continuously measure and improve the effectiveness of these efforts and the legal department overall. Perhaps different from most other legal operations services, we also deliver Profit from Legal for businesses that don't have an in-house legal department, for those that rely entirely on outside general counsel. It's very rare to see a business that has no in-house legal department with a legal operations function. I think such developmental oversights are costly mistakes because really every business, whether it has an in house legal department, outside general counsel, or no ongoing proactive preventive legal support at all, needs to have a legal operations function so that they will at least have the capacity to engage legal support profitably should they choose to do that or want to do it better. Many of the businesses that forego legal support do so because they just don't know how to have a proactive, preventive, profitable relationship with their lawyer. If they had a good legal operations function, they would know how to use a lawyer effectively and profitably. They would know how to set up a legal department in a way that is not a drain on the business's resources, but instead adds to the total resource pool available to a business. And that's the goal for Profit from Legal. We want businesses to start seeing that legal support is an efficient use of their resources, that when done in the right way, it can even be profitable for a business to have legal support. Businesses with profitable legal support don't worry about lawyers being unaffordable because everything profitable is affordable. So, after listening to this, I hope you're asking yourself, could Executive LP help my company improve its business intelligence? After all, while I admit this might not be the most emotionally compelling material, the difference, the impact of putting into practice the things I'm talking about is a total game changer. So I hope you're asking yourself whether or not that applies to you. Could it work for you? The reason that I do what I do is because I genuinely believe putting these ideas into action will improve people's lives. Better ideas lead to better actions. Better actions lead to better results, like having more of what you want, wasting fewer resources, and being generally more fulfilled in your work. We want to help you get everything in your legal function right, because as Yvon Chouinard said, profit is what happens when you get everything else right. With the right legal operations function in place, legal support really can be profitable. This is not just some academic theory or pie in the sky, nerdy ivory tower math on a chalkboard thing. It's practical. This is real. And if you're tired of feeling like you're just throwing money into a black hole whenever you spend money on legal support, it doesn't have to be that way. We can change that. Profit from Legal really can help your business save money on the things that your legal support team already is or should be doing. It can help you improve overall profitability, and it can help you discover new opportunities. To me and others committed to building their business into something investable and lasting, the potential to do all of that is really exciting. Profit from Legal has a very strong value proposition, and unlocking that value for your business starts with a free conversation. It costs you nothing. If you'd like to have a conversation about improving your business intelligence and setting up a legal operations function in your business, all you have to do is go to executivelp.com and click contact. From there, drop me a line using the contact form. Again, that's executivelp, like legalprofessionals.com. Mention that you're interested in improving your business intelligence in the contact form message. We'll reach out promptly to start that conversation with you. Thanks for tuning in today to learn more about improving legal business intelligence. And just a quick note that our next episode will be about financial management for legal support, which essentially is all about putting the client in control of their legal costs, something in which I know a lot of people are interested. You're going to get a ton of value out of that episode too. But that's all for this episode of the Profit from Legal podcast. I'm your host, Noel Bagwell. Thanks for listening.